journey defined. What a wonderful moment today. We've discussed this topic of career success and family excellence, but today we want to take it further. I've got somebody very special with me, Marine, my wife. Marine, I'm so grateful for you to be with us on this wonderful program.
It's great to be with you, Mario. It's really a privilege.
So let's start our discussion. What I want to start is, first of all, a marriage. And I want to ask Marine specifically the question, Marine, a marriage, is it a covenant or is it a contract agreement? Can you explain it to us?
There is two differences between contract and covenant, and that's very important to highlight it. A contract have many loopholes. If you cancel a contract, the agreement is not there anymore. This is why divorce is today such a big problem. But we are very sensitive to couples that are divorced because there's a lot of hurt in these couples.
So what I'm hearing from Marine is the following. You know, there's a contract and there's also a covenant agreement. A covenant is something different. And a covenant is something that I promise to keep my covenant. I know there's going to be problems and all these type of things, but when you enter a marriage, and this is the question that I've asked, is it the contract or is it the covenant agreement? So Marine, can you give us an example of this contract versus covenant agreement?
Yes, there is a salt covenant that we can do practically, and we want to demonstrate it for you today practically.
Great, let's do it.
We're going to take 2 sachets, and we're going to put some of the salt into each other's pouch. I'm first going to take some salt and put it into Mario's pouch.
But then I also believe I'm going to do the same, okay? Do you want more, Marine? Is it enough?
Thank you.
Okay.
Now,
So what is the point?
now this demonstrates really what covenant means to God. And now people want to take some of this salt out of this pouch. How do you divide the salt? How do you get the salt out? This shows you what is the beauty of a covenant in marriage.
This is difficult. This is really difficult. So you want yours back, am I right?
Yes, that is what happened with couples. They want to take it out and they want to take it for themselves.
Now, to our listeners now, can you understand, and this is why I want to summarize, what is a contract as well as what is a covenant agreement? A contract is something simple, saying, I promise to love and stay with you only as long as you love me and don't age too badly. Or I want to stay faithful for you. I want to take good care of the kids until I get bored, or you or find maybe somebody else. Or then the third one is, and if we do break up, I have the house and you can have the credit card bills. You see, that is a typical a contract agreement. But what about a covenant? A covenant is saying, I promise to love you, to cherish you in sickness and in health, poverty or wealth, now and forever until death do us apart. You see, this is why this is so important. Thank you very much, Marine, for just highlighting that for us. That to me is so crucial. But now you're sitting on the other side, and I want to ask you some questions. And I want you to listen. Is it true or is it false? Do you understand and do you uphold the full implications of your marriage vows? Are you really responsible and loyal towards each other? Are you prepared to give your best? Are you faithful to each other? Do you support each other? Do you act in unity? What about your possessions? What about your lifestyles? Do you honor, do you cherish each other? Yes or no? So again, I want to repeat and I want to ask Marine, covenant or contract agreement? Where do we stand, and any final comments about this?
No, this is what we want to teach couples, is what is the difference between covenant and what about a contract. And the biblical base of it is covenant. And we want to teach couples to do a covenant agreement.
Great. To our listeners listening to us, where is this coming from? We've been trained in this program called 2 = 1 Married for Life. And this is such a powerful program where you get together on a weekly basis discussing this topic. Now, what we have done to you today is just touch on this introduction. But when you get together on a weekly basis, you work through this and all the details. So what we have done so far is that we've just demonstrated for you this wonderful program. I'm going to give you later on more details about this. Where does it fit in? But to me, this first starting point is about contract, and it's about this covenant agreement. But now I want to move on, and I want to move on to the second step, Marine. And it's all about one flesh. We've understand covenant and contract, but what about one flesh? Are we really one? What do we do? Why is it so that we sometimes are not connected? Let's talk about this thing of a one flesh. What is it all about?
One flesh is when two people depart from their homes and they cleave to each other. And then God is the center of their lives.
That's brilliant. And I want to repeat to our listeners what Maureen said. This is 2 verses 1. It's one in the middle. God is in the middle. Now, put yourself in the situation. If it's me and Maureen, we've got different personalities coming from different backgrounds. We've now married for the last 39 years. I'm the youngest now. You can understand the youngest is always sometimes giving the tough and the difficult times, but it's not always the case. But we are one flesh. God is in the middle. So we're going to demonstrate. We're going to be very practical again. Maureen, can we demonstrate what is a one flesh couple and how do they do it? So can you demonstrate this to us?
Yes, we're going to do it practically. We're going to take clay. I've got the pink for the wife and the blue for the husband. So
Okay.
we're going to just mix it.
So we are now one. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
So we're going to mix it. And that's what happens when couples want to get divorced. They want to take some of this clay out, and it's a big mixture. So how do you divide the blue and the pink?
But let me help you with that. Can I do this?
No, you can't.
Oh,
You see, this is a mixture, and you can't take it out. That's why there is so much huge problems when couples got divorced.
No, you see, no, that's yours and this is mine. But then I decided, wait, I do see somebody different. And this time, she's looking different. So it's going to be green. So let's put now my pink and blue plus the green together. So what's going to happen now? And you see what's going to happen. It's going to be darker and darker and darker and darker. And now we want to say, let's split it. And what do we see now? It's really, Maureen, I want to say, it's a huge concern. Because it is not difficult. Can you see what's happening here? It's the pink and it's the green and it's the dark and it's the blue. It is now so difficult to split it again and again and again. So I'm so grateful for this practical
But this is a big problem.
I
Because
know.
it's getting a mixture now.
I know, and what Maureen is saying, it is a serious problem. So I want to ask you a couple of true and false questions. Think about this. Do you compliment each other, yes or no? Yes or no? Is your spouse a true help? Is he equal? Is he supporting you? Yes or no? Do you act in unity? In other words, do you complement each other? Yes or no? Do you work well together despite your personalities, your background, and your differences? You see, this is so important. We are not really one flesh. Do we concentrate on each other's weaknesses? What about silence? Is it part of your life? Or do you sabotage each other? Is Christ Jesus, and I'm so grateful, Maureen, that you've highlighted, Christ is the center of our marriage, because that is what we call one flesh. Otherwise, it's me and it's you, but we are not one flesh. That's just a great principle that you've highlighted. Some of the other things is, we are selfish or self-centered, and both husband and wife don't cling to each other, and then also our value system. So what are we saying? We are living in a situation where our marriages, there's a certain problem, and we don't know how to fix it. There are lots of marriage programs today, but I want to explain to you again. This was the one that we've been trained. Marina, how long have we been trained in this process?
We're doing it more than 20 years now.
20 years that we are involved. And our job is not just to keep it for ourselves. I want to train you. If you're sitting, doesn't matter which part of the world you are, specifically in Africa, you want to be trained as leaders, please do this. We've done some training recently where we're sitting down, even in our church. I want to say it up front. We've trained a pastor. We've trained a church leaders because we're saying, like in a small group, get together. So what are we doing? We get together on a weekly basis, talking one program. And today we were just giving you a little bit of an overview of this program called 2 equals 1 Married for Life. It is such a powerful program. So I want to repeat, it's about contract versus covenant agreement. Do you understand the differences? And then the second one is about, are you really one flesh? As I explained it to Marine also, we are one flesh. Christ is the center. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem. So this was a starting point. We're going to carry on with this discussion because there are far more information. This is a 12-week program. It's not a quick fix. You know, often people are married for the last 10, 20 years, but what about the marriage? They need to take it to the service, and this is the way to start with this, and I'm so excited. So me and Marine, we're going to carry on with our discussion. We're going to take to a very important topic about the role of Marine and the role of myself. But this is important, so stay connected. Start thinking about your marriages. Start thinking about our practical examples, yes or no, and where you are and how do we fix these type of things. So I'm excited. Thank you very much, Marine, for joining me today. But we're going to carry on with discussion so that we can fix our marriages, but doing it God's way.
Do we understand these different seasons? We try our best to help people to be successful. As people move on with their lives, there is a desperate need to move on to the season of significance. In our research on managerial degeneration and self-neglect, we have found that managers easily understand the importance of strategic thinking and when to have team-building sessions with their staff, but often fail to apply those same processes in their own lives. Use your willingness and obedience now. Start your journey to be a facilitator today. When trained as a facilitator, you will have the opportunity to serve people in a very unique way. We are keen to take you through this wonderful training. Let the rest of your life be the best part of your life.
Great, and welcome back. And what a wonderful topic about Married for Life. And I'm looking at the back of this course material, and I want you to listen to this. We're a network of couples in over 90 nations. In fact, Marine mentioned 100 nations. Teaching and coaching other couples. Our goal is to help equip marriages and family to fulfill God's purpose to their lives. So what we're saying is this is such an important program, and I want to please ask you, get involved. But so far we've discussed these type of things like covenant agreement, and we discussed the specific one about one flesh, but now we want to move on. And Marine, I want to ask you, this next topic is very important. It's all about, Marine, it's all about understanding your role and my role. And I know I've got a role and you've got a role. So take us, and what are your first comments about this important topic?
Yes, there's specific roles that the Bible gives us to husband and wife, and it's really interesting to go into this. It's easy to criticize each other, but the big thing is you must remember your words carry power.
Now, why is this so important for me? And being a business consultant in my life, I know when I'm working with companies and organizations, one of the first things that I ask is, tell me about your job description. And this is such a big thing because I'm often, and I want it again, when I look at Marine, I'm saying I'm often not at home and I'm away for sometimes 2-3 weeks. And then you taking up my role also, am I right? And it's not always easy.
Yes.
You see, it's all about understanding each other's job. Now, can you understand? I've got a specific role to play, and we're going to go into detail. We're going to be very, very practical, and we're going to start giving you the roles of the husband and roles of the wife. Now, Marine, what are we doing with this? These are the roles.
We're giving this to couples that graduate, and it's got a fridge magnet at the back. And couples can stick it to their fridges and look to this if they finish the course. So this can remind them of what is the roles of the husband and the roles of the wives.
I love this. I love this, and I love this, and I want to be practical today. So what you're saying is we put it to a fridge so that I can see it on a daily basis.
Yes.
Okay, so let's start, and I'm going to talk, and me and my wife are going to share with you the different roles. And it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I want to check with you, are you doing it? I'm going to start with the first one, and then Marine, you're going to do the second one, am I right? But the first one, the roles of the husband, first of all, reassuring, covering. Now listen to the words. Loving your wife as Jesus loves the church means being sensitive to her needs. Isn't that wonderful? And I love what I'm reading here, spirit, soul, and body. Comfort your wife where the Spirit tells you needs comforting. So what are we saying to you as listeners? If you're listening to us and I'm saying, do me a favor, get this topic, put it to your fridge, start doing it. Because the first role for you as a husband is reassuring, very, very important. But Maureen, what is your first role on your side?
Yeah, it's the helper. And in Genesis 2 verse 18, the Lord say, the role of the helper is not secondary, but it's a vital role of surrounding a husband with support.
Isn't that brilliant? See, you're talking about supporter and helping. You know, sometimes we look at helping like, no, you are below me. No, that's not the point, please. But the second one, I must be the leader. And look at this, and I know you are also the leader, but the burden of final leadership responsibility for the outcome of this family lies with the husband. So I'm talking to the husbands. Are you taking up your leadership role, yes or no? That to me is very important. So we're living in a world that's a serious concern. We are not taking up our leadership roles, and this is where we see a lot of what we call fatherless societies. But I love this conversation. Maureen, let's take up your role. What is the next one?
The next one is a supporter. Husbands need to be respected and honored. And this is usually a big, big problem. This is not dependent upon his performance. As you honor his authority, God will change him.
Oh, that's great.
Because women sometimes want to change husbands, and you can't do it. Just the Lord can do it.
And I've tried the last 39 years and it's not working, am I right?
No.
And I know you're going to
Yes.
say something similar to me, because I'm not here to fix you or sort you out, am I right? And you're not here to
Yes.
fix and sort me out.
Yes.
But if I take up my rightful role and can make such a big difference, wow, I love this. So let's move on to the next one, the provider, financial support. You've got a role, please. And this is very important. I know we're living in a world today, it's not always easy financially, but you've got a role to play, husbands, to specifically also to be the provider. So what are we saying? God intends for husbands to provide not only for the physical needs or a wife and a family, but also for the spiritual needs. Isn't that wonderful? This means that along with supplying food and sheltered clothing, you are also make it clear that you've got certain kingdom principles that you need to highlight. Very, very important. So we've looked at the first three. What is on your list now?
Yes, the administrator. Skillful and godly administration would enable a wife to increase and multiply that which her husband has provided.
Isn't that wonderful? So what you're saying, you've got a role for administration also. And it's there to help us. So, Kay, this is vital. I love this. Thanks, Maureen. So, and for our listeners, please, I love doing this session because I'm assessing myself. Are we on the right place, yes or no? The next one, example of God's heart. Isn't that wonderful, Maureen? And listen to the words. A husband, you are to demonstrate the heart of God to your family. Now, can you see what's wrong in the world today? We as husbands don't take up that specific role. It's so important. What else do you have on your side?
Reflection of God's love.
Love it.
Wives have opportunities daily to minister the love of God within their homes as well as outside. Caring for your husband and family should be a joy and reflect the connected heart of a servant.
Great stuff. Let's move on to the next season. The next one is lover and companion. Listen to the words. Wives need to be loved and cherished. And I want to say this, that's very important. What is your role number 5?
Lover and companion.
Great.
A wife's first ministry must be to her husband. Make sure you have God's plan for you and that you are not neglecting to minister first to your husband and to your family as you get involved in other ministries.
Wow, that's so important. And again, I want to you're sitting on the other side, listen, this is something you put to the fridge. You listen to this, please, very important. And then the next one is husbands, like Jesus, must take firm, uncompromising stand against sin, even when it might be easy to look the other way around. So you must, God is the basis of your source. And we serve a sovereign God, so that's very important. Hating the sin, but loving the sinner. A very important thing. So I'm saying we are yet, so let's talk about marriages. Role number 3, it's my role as well as the role of my wife. Maureen, something else from your side?
Just the reflection of God's creativity is another role of a wife. And the last one is the intercessor. That is really an important one, because you as wife must intercede for your family and also for your husband.
Now, I'm so grateful that Maureen mentioned that, because both on my list as well as on our list, we've got this one on intercessor. Now, what are we saying to each other? You need to be my intercessor and I need to be your intercessor.
Yes.
So what are we doing on a daily basis? One of the first things that we do, and we committed ourselves that we're going to pray together, am I right?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter where I am or where you are, we pray together. So I want to say to our lovely listeners on the other side, you know, if you seriously want to take your marriage for like a service or a checkup, you need, from my side, take up your role first of all. And one of the best ways to do it is put it on your fridge so that other people can see it. Maureen, just quickly, just highlight to me the 7 roles again.
Of the wife?
Yes.
It's the helper, supporter, administrator, reflection of God's love, lover, companion, reflection God's creativity, intercessor, and discerner.
So my question is, are you doing it? Yes or no? And my question to you also, if I look at the husbands, now let me talk to you straight. Are you doing? I want to challenge you, please. This is such an eye-opener. Recently, we've done this program in our church, and one of the leaders said, Mario, this was such an eye-opener. And we were in conflict because our son realized, I'm not taking up my role. And this is very important, so I want to quickly repeat this. Re-ensuring your role as a husband. You are the leader, and you can look at it, these type of things. There's also biblical verses next to it. Also the provider, the example of God's heart, your lover, your companion, example of staying close to God, and you're going to be the intercessor. To me, this is very important. I want to be practical, as I explained to you. We need to take these type of things seriously. So we need to take it seriously, and then I want to say, Maureen, thank you very much just for being here so that we can discuss it. Any final comments from your side about, you know, how do we do it, and or any things that you want to just throw in here as a part of our discussion? Why is this so important also for you?
Now, this is important because your children look at you as a role model.
Yes.
And if you have a bad demonstration, your kids are going to do it in their lives.
I love what Maureen is saying. That's powerful. And I want to say to you guys sitting on the other side, come on, let's do this. It is not too late. Take these type of things seriously. Come on for the Married for Life course. And I'm available. I want to repeat this. We want to train you. We can do it on Zoom. Doesn't matter where you are. Let's see and let's take these marriages to the next level. It's going to be wonderful. I want you to start thinking about how you want to get involved, and we are ready to train you. So I want to close the session by saying, take up these 3 things that we've discussed so far. May God bless you. I want to close this section today by repeating some of the words on this Married for Life training manual. And this was the words from Mike and Marilyn, the founders of this specific program. And listen to the words, as marriages grow strong, families grow strong. As families grow strong, a nation changes. So this is such a wonderful program. And again, I want to say, please, let's keep on doing it. Just to summarize what we've done, we've discovered this thing of a contract as well as the covenant agreement. We've discussed things like the one flesh, and then we've also discussed something very powerful, taking up your role as taking up my role. And right towards the end, I want to start asking you, please, let's do an action plan. Let's do something. Let's get trained about this program. It is not too late. I know this is a huge problem, and I want to ask you, please, let's get involved. So before we're going to just pronounce some blessings over you, Maureen, I know there's going to be maybe couples listening to us, and maybe they are sitting and they have problems. Do you have a final message for them? Something that you want to convey to them where they are, and maybe they're struggling with their own marriages. Is there something that you want to convey to them?
Yes, I just want to say it is important to come to a group because change is not within one session. It takes time, and it's a 12-week course with different topics. And what's wonderful about it is it's biblical principles that we taught out of the Bible.
Oh, that's so great to hear those principles. And as I explained to you, this is, as Maureen mentioned, a 12-week program. So, but I want to start wrapping up. My question is always, what have you heard so far? What are you going to do with the information? What is your prayer request? But I want to pronounce specific blessings over marriages, people that's listening to us. And I'm going to say something, and Maureen, then I'm going to ask you also to say something. So the first one that I want to say to all our participants and listeners, listen to the first one. You shall fulfill your God-given destiny as a couple and shall find great fulfillment in accomplishing your purpose together. I'm pronouncing that over you. Yes.
We declare that you shall prosper in your relationship with each other.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? The next one that I want to pronounce is we declare that you both shall be quick to forgive and bless each other. Isn't that wonderful?
You shall prosper in physical health.
Your children shall love God with all their hearts.
God bless your work and your finances and declare that you shall prosper financially.
Wonderful. And the next one is you shall find great favor where you work and with your friends.
We bless your marriage and declare that you shall become one flesh and shall prosper.
So now maybe wrap up. We promise to stand with you and fight for your covenant or marriage all the days of your life. And what are we saying? My request is keep on listening. We want to take this discussion further. It is not too late. Take Married for Life seriously. We want to train you. We are available. Connect with us. Connect with us so that we can take it to the next step. And again, I want to say thank you very much, Maureen. You are special. I really appreciate you. And let's say together, God bless you. I want to repeat this. God bless you.